Small hands are actually everybody wants one.
We need a free seat.
Right, good evening everybody, and you'll be pleased to know I'm not Ling. I'm just going to introduce Ling and give a little bit of a preamble about what this evening's about, why we've put together, who I am and what I do. My name's Andy Gambles, for those of you who don't know me. I have a company called ServerTastic. It's based in Woodend in town, and we sell SSL certificates, security and trust solutions online. It's a bit of a complex subject, so hopefully over time you'll start to learn what it is if you keep coming to more of these events. We're running this event in partnership with a new group formed called Digital Coast. The aim of the group is to promote and enhance the digital economy in the Scarborough area and region. There's a lot of outstanding digital businesses in the Scarborough area, and we think they don't get enough help and support, and they don't get out there enough to show people how good that they are. So by doing events like this, we hope that it will encourage students and other businesses to think broader and think that they can run their business in Scarborough, but they can still sell to the UK and even to the world. If I go back to ServerTastic, my company, we pretty much have a customer in every country in the world. We were lacking in Africa until last week when we got a new reseller in Kenya, so that was fantastic. We have customers like the NHS, a lot of US universities. Dropbox is one of our customers. 37 Signals who do something called Basecamp, you may have heard of as well, they're one of our customers. So we have customers all over the world just from our little base here in Scarborough. So if you're on Twitter, feel free to have a chat and hashtag Digital Coast if you want to talk about Ling, because there will be lots to talk about afterwards, I can assure you. And also go to the Digital Coast website and sign up, and we can give you more information about more events like this that will be upcoming. And it would be great if you can also retweet those events, put them on your Facebook, so the more people that know about these kind of events, the more the support and the more that we can put on. So without further ado, I will introduce the star of this evening, Ling Valentine.
It's so pleased to be in Scarborough. It's nice to see some English weather, a bit icy after being in China over Christmas. I'm sorry if my accent is a bit difficult to understand, but for Yorkshiremen or for Yorkshire people, because after being in the UK for 15 years, I speak perfect English. Everyone tells me Yorkshire people like money just like Chinese do. So today I would like to explain how I lease £50 million worth of car a year and making about £600,000 of gross profit last year by just using my beautiful website. I come from Chengdu, the middle of China, where panda's from. I went to university in Guangzhou and qualified in applied chemistry. After I got my bachelor's degree, I decided to move abroad because there was just so much competition in China. I wouldn't be very good at working in a Chinese factory because I can only making about 25 iPhones an hour. So I went abroad to Finland and to study wood chemistry as for my master's degree. I met my Yorkshire husband, John online on IRC, and we got married in Finland in 1997. When I arrived in the UK, I saw John selling cars, and I thought I could sell cars. It was easy, so I could do it online. So I started online business to sell contract hire cars. It was very new to the UK. That by the time I was thinking back to 2002. It was very hard. I was working from my dining room. I had no ideas about cars. When my customer ring me, I couldn't even tell the difference between a hatchback and a saloon. By 2007, I had established my website to be quite successful and moving about £50 million worth of car a year, and I needed some staff. I entered it on the TV Dragon's Den.
The lack of business nous is terrifying.
Well, I mean, my business is going well, and we're making money.
I turned down 2 offers of investment from the Dragons, because I only went on TV for the free publicity.
So I'm going to match Trista's offer, and I'm going to offer you £25,000 for 20% of the company.
Will Ling be prepared to sell this much of her business?
I think it's a bit too much. I really refuse that.
You're telling us that?
Yeah. Well, Chinese eat dragons for breakfast.
I like free publicity. I've created a lot of publicity just by doing crazy things. The first, I think probably everyone will know about it. I bought at least my nuclear missile truck. I bought it on eBay. Spent about £2,500 and built a missile on top of it ourselves. I parked it next to A1 and M62 before they managed to make it a criminal offence. I had to move it. I also bought a small tank and painted it in yellow. I used it on TV when Ling Valentine came to visit me to see how I was doing. The reason I painted it yellow so I can stand out on the TV for the free 10 minutes publicity.
Well, I think this is called the yellow submarine or yellow tank or whatever it is. I think we'll stand back.
Hey, Valentine! How are you? Over here. Good day.
Hello, Ling.
Pet.
How are you?
Yeah, good.
Yes. What is this?
Well, my new pet. Little
New
tank.
pet?
Yeah. See,
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you again.
Yeah, but
You missed the good fun, you know. If you invest in my business, you can have a tank too.
Other publicity for including Christine, a Chinese girl used to work with me for 1 month for working experience. I got her singing about 15 karaoke songs and uploaded on my website. Everyone says this breaks website rules. You shouldn't have this auto sound on the website. But my sales went right up after I uploaded this noisy little flashing movie on my website when people visit my website. All this is designed to break down the barriers, so make people stay on my website a bit longer to begin to trust me. Making web visitors happy is easy. What amazes me most is that there's so many web businesses out there. They just stick up a website up and think that's about it. It's not just about a cool design. It's not just about products. We got it wrong. It's about emotion. It's about making people happy. Happy visitors buy things. Getting web orders for like smaller items like books on Amazon is one thing. To Amazon is established, so people can visit Amazon and getting small books or sort of thing, click and buy. It's that easy. However, if you're trying to sell large ticket item like 35,000 worth pounds of car, it's very difficult. how many businesses there are making their living based on selling big items like something worth 35,000? Hardly many. So it's a very hard thing trying to sell the large ticket item without reverting to offline sales like all the traditional car dealers do. So today I'm going to explain what I'm doing that's making the customers happy, so they can transact more online. And when you go back to work tomorrow, I hope this will be on your mind. How can we make our customers happier on your mind? I lease new cars, thousands of them in the UK. And that's what I do. Some are quite sexy cars. For example, I've leased over 100 Mercedes SOK last year. Sexy car. Who would want to buy a brand new SOK? Hands up. Come on. No? Exactly. I'm going to get one. The same products can be sold in many different ways. So today, I'm going to compare my online sales to Mercedes do. If I try to sell a Mercedes the same way as Mercedes do online, they would slaughter me. No one would ever want to buy a car from me. But let's have a look at Mercedes' website. I'm wondering how on earth would Mercedes trying to sell such a sexy car in such a boring way? The website isn't transactional. It's very boring. You see the grey text, and the text is very small, and the web page refreshes very flunky. It's not a very happy experience. So how can I get the customer come to me instead of going to their local dealer to buy a car? By making them feel happy. Let's have a look at my online Mercedes sales page. You see, quite a big difference. Christine is singing, and the customer can read a lot of customer letters, and there's a lot of things for them to click, and can compare the cost of my cars to the everyday items. I don't have a big flashing showrooms with a big Mercedes badge, and I'm a Chinese female immigrant. Customers are not supposed to buy a car from a Chinese immigrant, but with a very flashy website, with full of, look, my website is really strange, full of colours and animated gifs, very flashy. If I said that was a business idea that I'm going to move it, so many cars a year, and if I would tell someone go to investment banker and say I'm gonna make it working, and everyone would laugh at me. But that's what I do, and the reason I managed to sell so many cars, it's just not about price. It's about I try to make the customer happy. They're happy to deal with me. And this, to me, is the most important question that most web businesses don't answer. Is the customer happy to deal with you? Have you made them feel happy? It's a very emotional thing. And let's look at the cost of mine. And currently, I'm selling a Peugeot 408 to a KLM Jumbo Jet pilot, Gary, who lives in Harrogate. Actually, it's not far from here. I always request a driving license for security reason, and I normally use the photo of the driving license on the customer discussion page, and I call it lingo, to discuss about the customer's car. In Gary's case, I found a KLM teddy bear instead. So I used the KLM teddy bear on the page, and this made the customer very happy. So once the barrier is broken, and what could possibly go wrong? In this case, Gary offered to bring me 20 kilos of Chinese polo next time when he was in China, and he did. It was fantastic. He managed to get all the Poland, all the pilots and all the students in the luggage, and he was complaining when he come back. I have many customers all over the UK, thousands of them, like bloody zoos. This map is the UK. Americans may confuse it to Florida, but it's Ireland to the left. It's not Cuba. Here are my customers spread over the UK. I don't think if anyone's Scottish. I do have vacancies in Scotland. I have to make the GPS is a bit fuzzy, so nobody can zoom in to my customer's back garden, but it's quite accurate. I show customers who had a letter published on my website with this little red pen. So you can see many of that. Quite good. Why on earth other companies don't use this kind of information? I don't understand. But this is quite useful. Just imagine Amazon's customer map. That would be great. But if you are a smaller business comparing to Amazon, this will be very useful too. It's just to help customer feel like you feel not alone, and they will feel very happy to make a buying decision. These are the customers who had cars from me. What about the current web visitors? Well, Ling's Cars web visitors actually can see themselves online with many other people. It's like a big group hug. This is pretty unique again. This would be a massive sales aid to a lot of web companies. Every web business has this kind of information. They just don't use it. I keep my current visitors in this, I call it a Chinese prison camp. And everyone can see which cars are being looked at. So it's very useful when you think you can check out the cars that you haven't thought about. And it's like you go into a shop and see lots of people in front of a display stand. You would wonder, a lot of people would wonder, what is it looking at? And generally speaking, most people would just go and have a look. To make people even happier, I've included some little Easter eggs here. And for instance, cat sings. If you click on the jam jar, that will make all the visitors dance. It's really important to me that customers can see who they are dealing with. Well, webcams are quite common, but webcam image can be quite boring. So I try to make my office visually exciting, including a lot of things for people to spot. For example, customers know it's live because you can see the clock there, and you can see a lot of customers online on the TV screen, and also the response time. And I have a button called Toned Guy on my webpage. Guy is my head admin person, and he's Scottish. Can be quite dull sometimes. And press this button could make the proclaimer sing really loud in the office.
And I would walk 500 miles, and I would walk 500 more.
Watch out, Guy. Guy hates this. It annoys him. And but for customers, well, who can resist to call someone to get really annoyed? So every customer who spots this button presses it once, and so presses it again and again. And eventually, Guy gets really annoyed and starts shouting at the camera. A lot of my customers are mid-aged men. Actually, that's a fact of life. I know they all like big kids, so I bought a Dalek in the office. Everyone loves the Dalek, and a lot of my customers grow up with Dalek on TV. My Dalek made customer happy, and who wouldn't want to buy a car from Dalek? I can't mention the black and white animals sitting in the back corner of the office. I got a strong solicitor's letter from DreamWorks. For every customer I have, I request a copy of their driving license and use the image on the driving license to personalize their customer page lingo. So sometimes people will upload more images. I thought I would break the Data Protection Act by using all these photos, making a big one, mosaic photo. It's great on the website. No one complains. It's just wonderful. When you are a customer, go onto a website and suddenly realize that if you think I have so many customers, happy customers, you'll be happy to deal with me. How good is this? I've got a new game, and it's called Ling Valentine as an iPhone app. You can download it from iPhone shop. And also I got a Flash version and Android. If you can win the Hangzhou with T-shirt, and that's one of the things I like to do. I always like to give some prizes away to the customers, make them happy. You can also buy a T-shirt just after the talk. It's only cost £10. Come on. Visitors can play my games, and also my customer can play the game while they're waiting for the car. Even sometimes they have to wait for a few weeks. John, come on, load up my game. Let's show them. Come on. Game? What's a game? Sorry. It's very noisy. Anyway, I don't know if any of you have played this game. I got this game for free by altering the existing game and wrote a very clever contract. The people who made it, Computer Games, were very pleased with it, and they were very happy with the sound effect and the flashing graphics. And Chris, the boss, actually loved it. Actually, I was interviewed by the local Northeastern News, and let's play the interview, please.
I'm Ling from leasecars.com. I lease cars in the UK, thousands of them. The game is called Lease Cars, just a driving game.
So would you describe it as a salesy game?
No.
How do you beat the game? How do you win the game? What's...
I don't know, I can't win the game. I can only play to the level 4. No, I don't care. But if they crash, they'll see the ads about my company.
Can Trump be played?
Yeah, of course.
No violence in it, or swearing?
No. The game was made by Computer Games.
But there really isn't a question about who owns the game. We own the game, we developed it.
I own the game. I have a contract for it.
And how much did you pay to create the game?
Nothing. I just ordered the contract bit and they didn't notice that. Well, I'm not lying. It's kind of, he just didn't notice.
I really ultimately had no choice but to just get the legal dogs out and set the legal team on it.
We're very confident that a cease and desist action will be forthcoming to Ms Valentine, as well as a substantial claim for damages on behalf of our client, Kent Limited.
I can't do it.
We are still studying the contract as we speak. However, parts of it are written in a complex and undetermined form of Chinese.
Well, I'm very happy for them to sue me in China. I'm looking forward to seeing them in Shanghai.
That's horrible.
I've got this bullshit contract, and she's hacked to pieces, she's ruined our game, and she's sent me a fucking cutout of a Fiat Panda, for Christ's sake. This is bollocks.
You owe the company.
That's a terrible interview. He's talking rubbish. Anyway, everyone is a big kid. Everyone loves to play game, and I'm expecting 5-star reviews of this game. My game, Make Customers Happy. I want to briefly mention about Twitter. I think most of the people here are on Twitter. Twitter is a superb way of making customers happy. I don't understand why there's so many businesses on the internet. They are afraid to have customers writing on their website. I like everyone to join in. So my tweets, not just the content the tweets from me, the content all the tweets from other people as well. So sometimes when I'm having a fight with someone, it could get quite hairy. But if you tweet now to Ling's cast, your tweet will be shown on top of the tweet feed. And if you click on the full view, just right above the live display, the yellow number plate, you can see the whole week's tweets from me and everyone else, including my name. It's a very long page. I hate the boring and meaningless PR tweets from a lot of companies they do. I just see whatever I think. I would like to thank McDonald's because the best way to comparison way to sell cars is to compare the cost of my cars to Big Macs. It makes McDonald's look really expensive, but it makes my car look affordable. And at this stage, no one would think the absolute cost of my car. Actually, they would just think, I can afford 1.5 Big Mac. That makes them very happy. And I would like to thank Philip Morris. Another best way to compare the cost of my car. It makes my car looks nearly cost nothing. But actually, if you stop smoking now and lease a car from me, it's free. It's obviously why we should make people happy. It means they will be easier to deal with, and it means they will tell their friends, and it means they will like to deal with you and spend more money. This is why I make my website so bright and happy. In the last 6 months, from July to December, I've made £150,000 more gross profit comparing to same period the year before. The reason is just simple, because I was just trying to concentrate to make customers happy instead of trying to sell them a car. No one will decide to buy a car on their first visit to a website anyway, because it's a big financial decision. So why bother to try to sell them a car? Instead, I just try to play with my customers and have fun with them. I want them to come back to my website because their brain tells them they had great fun, instead of going to my competitor's website because their brain tells them it's boring. It's a human nature that you want to do something that's enjoyable instead of something that's unenjoyable or that's a chore. It's not rocket science. So some of you here will be worried when you think that, what if I try to make customers happy, but they don't become happy, or worse, if they get annoyed or if they hate my company. Every instinct will tell you, don't do anything emotional, so you don't create any annoyed customers or unhappy visitors. But there will always be some whingers, so take them on. Don't worry. You have to treat people like adults, and a strict reaction is the best reaction. Kick them in the teeth and move on. Go and change your website tomorrow. Start from tomorrow. Don't wait and add some crazy stuff and get people happy. Thanks a lot. Well, do you have any questions? Hope it's not too difficult. Come on. Go on.
How big was Dragon's Den for you, do you think, in terms of kind of marketing you got?
I think that's my first step with publicity-wise. It's after Dragon's Den, I was like, I probably doubled my visitors, number-wise.
So what's your next big stunt?
Well, I'm going to New York in about 2 weeks' time, and hopefully I'll conquer the world. Any more? Come on, don't be shy.
Have you got any good examples of when you've sort of tried to kick complaining customers in the teeth?
Well, actually, this once I can really remember. It's one customer. Actually, he got quite a bit of money, and he's an Audi customer. I think it's a hurricane rocked one of the boats, and his A6 got damaged. He wasn't very happy. Well, it's in God's hands. What can we do? So I managed to got him a demo from Audi, and also the dealer agreed to get him free insurance as well to cover while his car get repaired. But he's still unhappy because he wanted his wife's insurance on as well. So I said enough is enough. I told him I cancelled his car. Obviously, he wasn't very happy, but I just moved on to the next customer. He cried for like 2 weeks. That's it. Yeah.
Do you analyse all the crazy things you've got on your site that people can do? Do you analyse, or are you not bothered about the things that they use on there in terms of the games and that type of thing?
Right. It's very difficult to analyse because car is not small things. Sometimes it would be easy to analyse, but cars, people will look at a car again and again. Sometimes they will look at a car for like a few months because it's financially too big decision for them to make. So it's very difficult for me to say if I added some crazy stuff and suddenly so many people buying car, it doesn't work like that way. I just have to wait. Probably if I do something crazy, maybe in 2 years' time, even Dragon's Den, on some occasion I get customer telling me, I watched Dragon's Den, but it's for Christ's sake, it's about 5 or 6 years ago, they're telling me. They watched it just not long ago and coming to buy a car from me. So it's very difficult to analyse.
What's your best point for customer service? What do you put great pride in giving your customers in the aspect of service? Not kicking them in the teeth. What do you give them in service?
Well, we treat customer like adults, like what I say. If for example, if there is requirement by the customer, if this is some damage or if dealer did something wrong, we always help customers straight away. We tend to go back to customer very quickly with customer response. And even the car, if the customer has a car for over a year, we still look after them. If there's some problem, we can do to help them out. But it's only limited we can do. But I always look at the customer as a long-term wise because they always come back to me. I don't know if I have answered your question quite well. I think that's the best I can answer. I look at the prompt sign in a few years' time, so I always look after my customers.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go on.
Are your prices? Do you keep your prices competitive? Would you say, or do you sort of undercut in some areas to get the customers in, same as what the supermarkets do, or do you do? I don't know. Are you competitive? Is that the reason you get people in a bit cheaper than everybody else, or would you?
Right. In business world, if you are the cheapest, your business will die.
Yeah.
Because you're going to have to make money some way. So I try to make my price reasonable within the range.
Yeah.
Not really that cheap. I'd rather offer the best customer service. But there are some deals mine seems to be the cheapest. You can't be everything to be the cheapest all the time.
No, but you would say you're competitive then?
I'm competitive enough.
Yeah.
Do you find that a lot of people leave your website on the page where users are expected to enter credit card information with them being concerned about the security on your website?
I never ask a customer to leave credit card information.
Do they not leave any sort of deposit or anything to the website?
No. We don't take deposit.
Can I ask how many people here have got a car through me?
Go on, hands up. Don't be shy. 1, 2, 3. Oops. Well, come on.
I'd just like to say, we got one from you about 2 years ago because you were probably about £20 a month more than the offer we had on our previous 2 years. But when I sort of talk to a lot of students in terms of setting up business and setting prices, we always tell them that you need to have that extra customer value, the extra customer service in there. So over the year, yeah, it can add up to quite a lot, but the reason why we dealt with you was because when you say you'll get back to us in 4.5 minutes time, you get back to us in 4.5 minutes time. We always get an answer and you always work to get a solution. Whereas the company we had before, even though we came up to about 3 months before, 2 months before renewal, they never even rang us to see if we wanted a new car. We had to chase them and chase them and chase them. So, I mean, service is great, and in terms of charging more for it, you do the right thing, because the value you're giving back is to me, is worth £20 a month more. So I think it's just interesting how many people actually already...
I'm pleased that you got a car from me, but surprise-wise, I'm a bit surprised. I'm a bit surprised that's about £20 more. Well, I think, generally speaking, a lot of customers of mine, they tend to find my cars more or less about similar to the other companies. Sometimes, depends on the deal. I'm not saying my price will be the cheapest. Maybe some models might be slightly more expensive because no one will be the best on everything. So I will try my best.
And that doesn't affect us because we're happy to pay the extra.
Yeah. So should I charge you a bit more this time?
we'll just do one now with you, so it might be a bit less.
Can I ask you another question? I am a cleaning business in Scarborough, and we're looking at getting a van. We've got a clapped out crappy old van, and we want to get another van, and we want to get it all signed up. Would leasing or buying be better, and do you take part exchange?
It's a very good question. I used to go to a company, I used to buy cars or vans from my customers, but they packed. So at the moment, I just explain to my customer they have to sell the car or van themselves because they can get better money anyway. If you sell to a motor trade, they're trying to charge less money for you, so it's better for you. Regarding about sign, generally speaking, most business when they lease vehicle, they always have sign anyway. Just make sure you get like. I think John is the expert. I'll let John to explain it to you. We got a sign on our van as well. When we get rid of it, when we return it to the finance company or get rid of it, we just remove it. Just make sure there's no damage to the vehicle. And I wouldn't even bother to tell the finance company. But don't exclude that.
Because that was the only thing that was worrying me. Because if you did lease a vehicle, and you had it signed up, what would happen to it when the leasing was up? That was all. Like you say, you got rid of it. But it took us, last time we had a van, we had another business and we signed it all up and we owned the van privately. It took us ages to get the signing up.
I think there were some signs you can stick on and use some steam to get rid of it, and it won't hurt the paint. I'll get John to talk to you later.
Kettle of water or a
Yeah,
hairdryer.
it is the expert.
That's what we did. Kettle of hot water and a hairdryer, but it took ages.
Next, sorry.
I was just going to say, I have a sign company. If you use 3-year vinyl, you can get it off with a hairdryer. And then you clean it with white spirit in the car like you.
Here we go.
Do you care about search engine optimization and where your site ranks in relation to Google?
Yeah, I do care about that. We got very old Jewish bloke called it's like, I think it's probably 100 years old. He's very good, and he just does some, I don't know, magic. I'm not expert with that. He just does some magic and does really well. My company, we spend like very little amount of money, and our place is like a third or sort of thing on the car leasing term-wise. So it's pretty good. I'm happy with that. Go on.
How much business would you attribute to, because you're quite prolific on Twitter and you like to upset everybody you kind of come across on Twitter, how much business do you attribute to that activity?
Actually, we get quite a lot of customers over Twitter. I can't please everyone, and every time I think I got a lot of customers because I say what I say instead of what I think, instead of trying to please everyone. That's why a lot of customers like me.
So if you were to advise people on a strategy for using Twitter, what would it be?
Well, just say what you think instead of using the boring PR tweets. I think more people would rather deal with you instead of, Any more? Yeah.
Do you think you could get away with doing this in a fun stuff type of website, colourful, because you're not British?
That's a good question. Well, I'm Chinese. That's why I try to design the website. It looks a bit Eastern, sort of, a bit Chinese way. That's my thinking. Look a bit different instead of. I think British website, generally speaking, the corporate website, very boring, and a lot of this business like all these boring corporate stuff. So that's why I want to do it to stand out. I'm not sure there's many other Chinese leasing companies there apart from me. So I only do what I think is right, and I don't know if you could call it. I could get away with it. Maybe because I'm a Chinese, I can say things. Sometimes British people, English people can't see, and people let me get away with it. Yes, correct, and I use it a lot. But it works. It works for me. Maybe you can try it.
Why?
Different. Use your options. Go on.
Do you spend a lot on AdWords, and do you get good? If you do you get? Would you say you get good returns on those?
No, I don't use it.
You don't use them at all?
I never use it.
Right.
Yeah, I
Have
just
you tried
do crazy things.
Have you tried to use them and it's not been successful for you? Or?
It's a long time ago. It just costs too much money, and it's not worth it. I'd rather do crazy things and have fun, and have a bit of laugh instead of just paying money to Google. Not worth it. Go
How
on.
much money did you have right back at the beginning to set up? And what was the first car that you leased out?
Oh dear. Right. I don't think I had too much money when I started. Probably $1,000. That's all I got that time. First the car. I think it's probably Citroen Picasso. I used to sell loads of them. It's many years ago. Any more?
With the fact that you must get a lot of organic marketing done on your behalf with people tweeting once they do your site and wanting friends and family to sort of check it out, you must get a lot of hits from people who immediately click off the website who don't want anything to do with it. Would you never consider, with that in mind, giving people the option to have a normal view and a crazy view, which is what you've got at the moment, and give people that option as they arrive on the website, so that you could toggle on or off the crazy elements of the site?
Right, I did try it once. We created like a corporate version of Link's Cast, but never tried it because why? If the website is working, why bother to change it? That's my thinking. And if I start a corporate website, and it will just be one of many of these boring leasing websites, it won't stand out. So I got rid of that idea instead.
Did you get scared as, you know, when you started, you say you started in your dining room?
Yeah.
And then you got bigger and bigger and bigger. Did it start getting scarier and scarier and scarier, or did you just take it all in your stride? Did you get big quick, or?
Well, I think I always like to take big risk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I took the risk to leave China. Took the risk to move to England to marry a British bloke, which is my mum was shocked. Yes, Yorkshireman as well. And I like to take a risk. I just thought it's kind of a challenge. I like it. So I never feel too scary.
No.
I just get on with it. Any more? Come on, Lee.
There's no more questions.
You're frightened.
Well, I hope everybody enjoyed that. Okay, let's give Ling a big round of applause, please.